Okay, I think I'm live. What's up, Nilf? You made it so fast. And for that, I salute you, sir. I put the link to Unchained TV right here because they're live right now. And I think what I'll do is a little later in this stream, I might go back and catch up on that. I want to do it live because I need to be able to react. So we'll catch up with that in a little bit. But I also wanted to put the link just in case y'all wanted to check that out as it's happening. I am going to have a hard out on this stream at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Because my friend Gail Eisnitz, the investigator from the Humane Farming Association, is going to be on Animal Activism Collective's channel, and I want to check that out live and also not take away from their live. The Jane Unchained videos, I think we're going to react to here in a little bit. All right, let's start with Ed.
Doing really well. I just wanted to check in because there's a couple of things that I want to tell you about. One of those things is a really exciting announcement. It's something that I've been working on throughout this year, so I'm really thrilled that I now get to tell you about it. But before I do, I just want to give you a little update about what it is that I've been doing over the past month or so, because I've just finished a speaking tour of South Korea, and it was a really fantastic experience. The tour was busy, but also really fulfilling, and one of the things that I really enjoyed about it was I got to speak to a wide range of different people. So I spoke to school students, I also spoke to university classes and university students, and I also spoke to politicians and policymakers. I was also interviewed by a number of different journalists, including one who writes for one of the biggest daily newspapers in South Korea. So I got to speak to a wide range of different people, obviously all about veganism, animals, and it was really, really enjoyable and hopefully had a positive impact on those people that I was able to speak to. But the thing that I also want to talk about with you today is this announcement that I alluded to right at the beginning. Throughout this year, I've been working on a new book, and it is being published in December. And if you pre-order it, it will arrive in time for Christmas and also Veganuary. The book is called How to Go and Stay Vegan. And so, as the title suggests, it's the perfect book for any of you who are maybe not yet vegan, but are interested in going vegan. Or maybe you are vegan, but you have non-vegan friends or family members, people who've expressed interest in trying veganism or who are maybe going to be doing Veganuary. This book is perfect for them because it breaks down and demystifies the process of going vegan, making it simple, accessible, and achievable for people who might feel like it's a little bit intimidating right at the beginning. But the book is also about how to stay vegan. So it's not just about the process of going vegan, it's also about the process of being vegan. So even if you are a vegan, I have sections within the book that are talking about the experience of being vegan in a non-vegan world. And for those of you who have maybe watched my videos more regularly in the past 18 to 24 months, maybe you'll have seen some of the videos I've made about the experience of being vegan, some of those challenges that we might face, and also about people who have maybe stopped being vegan, people who used to identify as being ethical vegans who are no longer vegan. And in some of those videos, I've been trying to understand why, break it down, what leads to people making these bad, backwards decisions. So,
well, we know now, marshmallows,
to speak. And in the book, I draw upon some of those ideas. I don't just want to empower people to make the change initially. I want people to stick at it. It's not about being vegan for 4 weeks. It's about being vegan for the rest of someone's life. And so the book is also about empowering people who have already gone vegan, as well as people who are looking to go vegan. It's about demystifying that process, about providing some comfort and reassurance.
There's a chapter in his book about how to navigate the marshmallow minefield. Shout out Felix for coining that term, the marshmallow minefield. A dangerous place to be. You don't want to make a wrong step in the marshmallow minefield. You'll get marshmallow goo all over you.
And about normalizing some of those doubts and challenges that we might have at times during our veganism, those moments where it feels like this heavy weight because the people around us are not vegan, because we're having a hostile conversation with a friend or family member. These moments that over time can start to wear us down and might lead to people stopping being vegan. Well, how can we stop that from happening? How can we make sure that people who are in those environments, in those situations, still feel empowered, still feel confident? So that's essentially what the book is trying to do. It breaks down how to go vegan, look at the psychology of behavior change, look at the practical elements of that change to veganism, but it also explores what to do once you've made that change, from the practical elements to some of those more emotional, philosophical, and societal challenges that we might face as well. So more specifically, what do I talk about in the book? Well, the book is called How to Go and Stay Vegan. So as you'd expect, I talk about what needs to happen for us to become vegan. So I talk about the food changes we have to make, what do we eat, where do we get the nutrition that we need from, what about the meals that we cook, where can we find plant-based food, what is plant-based food, but I also talk about the other elements because veganism isn't just about food, it's not a diet change, it's a lifestyle change. And so that includes clothing. So I talk about vegan clothing, I debunk some of the misinformation around certain vegan fabrics, and more importantly, the misinformation around things like leather and wool. So I break down the animal-based fabrics, why we don't want to use them as vegans, but I also look at medication, toiletries, cosmetics, entertainment. What about zoos and circuses and aquariums and such? I go through all of these different arenas of animal exploitation, and I discuss why they are a part of becoming a vegan, why addressing these other
Please like and share to educate the stakeholders and the public supporting this one bite, one sip, one click at a time, or one lick. Either way. Saputo is Canadian owned and worth $19 billion. Cruelly gained blood money. Repost. I'll do that. Are you doing emojis? I just want to point down. Point down. Check it. Hmm. All right. Let's see what we got. Good work, Alicia. Good work.
forms of exploitation are also a part of becoming vegan. But I also talk about pets. What do we feed them? Is it okay to give dogs and cats plant-based diets, for example? I talk about some other social aspects. How do we talk to people about that change? What about having kids? What if you have a non-vegan family member, a partner? How do you navigate that potentially complex environment if you want to raise kids as a vegan, but maybe your partner doesn't? I talk about dating. I talk about the psychology of behavior change. I talk about some of the challenges that we might anticipate when we first make the change. I talk about what happens if we relapse and make mistakes. How should we approach the change initially? I talk about all of these different things and actually more. Now, the book is called How to Go Vegan, and so it's not just a book about food.
Got to get Ed that Jeremy bump as well. Get that book. He's right, by the way, about I don't know if he said it already or posted about it, but I do think if you're going to get a book, it's important to pre-order it, just so that the publishers and whoever sees that there's demand for this book, they'll push it out to more people. That's if you have the bucks to spare to buy these books. But
just about swapping meat for tofu, for example. It's about challenging
this
that.
one is obviously geared more towards non-vegan. Well, he's explaining it, but it's really more for non-vegans. So it might make a good gift or something like that, because we know.
Mentality, a species mentality that essentially holds up these systems of animal exploitation. I might be obviously talking about these practical things that we need to change. What does living vegan mean day to day? But it's also about acknowledging how this change to veganism is about shifting our mindset, our mentality, viewing animals differently. I talk about the benefits to us as humans from ethically altering our relationship with non-human animals, how that's fulfilling for us as individuals and as a species, as well as a moral urgency when it comes to the well-being of other species too. So it's not just about the food aspect, it's the lifestyle change, but importantly, it's the mentality shift that goes
Well, the stream just started, Alicia. It takes people time to find it.
alongside that, which is why the book's
Also, I can't believe these numbers anymore, because sometimes it'll say there's like 2 people in here and then like 6 people will be commenting. So the numbers aren't like They seem to not be in real time. Maybe there was a dip or something. I believe that there's only a few people in here right now, though.
Called How to Go and Stay Vegan, not
You and
just
Nil.
plant-based, of course. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in for yourself, maybe there are some topics in there that even as a vegan, you're interested in exploring or learning about, or perhaps you're interested in the things that I write about when it comes to the experience of being vegan, that challenge that can arise from existing in a world where all around us we are consistently reminded of why we've made this change and why there is this problem of animal exploitation in the first place. Perhaps that's something that might interest you as a vegan. Perhaps you have a non-vegan friend or family member, someone who is looking to go vegan, has expressed an interest, or is going to do veganuary. Well, if this book sounds of interest to you or someone that you know, you can pre-order it now by going to the links in the description. And I'd just like to say, if you do...
I am dangerously low on edamame. Gonna need to go to the store. Last time that I bought these, I bought like 80,000 of them. So I didn't think I'd ever have to buy them again, but I ate 80,000. So
pre-order, then thank you so much. Pre-ordering is such a hugely important part of the publishing process. It determines how successful a book is when it's launched. It determines how accessible the book can be, the number of orders that retailers will make, where they might position it in terms of shop windows or on the shop floors. The more successful it is during the pre-ordering process, the more likely it is to be shown to more people once it's officially published and launched and available in bookstores physically. So if you do pre-order, then thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And this goes for the previous books that I've published as well. Thank you to all of you who bought those previous books, who pre-ordered those previous books. It really means the world to me. I think to me, this third book kind of feels like rounding off a sort of unofficial trilogy, so to speak. This is Vegan Propaganda and Other Lies the Meat Industry Tells You was the book where I discussed the reasons why we should be vegan. What is it that makes veganism such an urgent issue? Or more importantly, what is it that makes animal exploitation such an immoral industry, fraught with problems? How to go and stay vegan is the next step, so to speak. It's you understand the reasons why you want to make that change, and now this is how you make that change. This is how you embody this ethical lifestyle, how you make these changes, how you break that process down, how you make sure that you have the best chance of succeeding, but also then what you do with that veganism. You've made the change, you're now living vegan. How do you then navigate the world as this new vegan, so to speak? And then of course how to argue with a meat eater and win every time was about having effective conversations with meat eaters. It was about trying to encourage other people to become vegan. How do we communicate these ideas? And of course throughout that book I debunked all of the different arguments that people use against veganism and show why of course veganism is the right choice in this world that we live in. So in my eyes, it kind of feels like an unofficial trilogy, which I find quite fulfilling and quite nice.
I do.
Feels like I've gone through all these different things now, bro.
Yes. Alicia sponsors me. I sponsor edamame. And this company gets loads of free advertising from me. But you know what? They make edamame. I'm good with that. That's fine. Heart healthy snack. So fine, Sea Point Farms. Loads of free advertising for you. I keep checking my phone for that offer of a sponsorship deal, but they must have lost my number.
Broken down all the different aspects, so to speak, of the vegan experience in these different ways. That's kind of the way that I've been approaching it anyway. But I hope that this sounds like something you might be interested in. Like I said before, if you do pre-order, then thank you so much. So that is more or less what I wanted to tell you about in this update today. If you'd like to learn more about what I did in South Korea, I actually published an article on my Substack where I go into more detail about the experiences that I had, who it is that I spoke to, what I did, some of those memories that I'll take with me, as well as some of the speaking events
South
that I
Korea
engaged
is great.
in. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in reading and learning more about, then the link to my Substack can also be found in the description as well. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I really do appreciate it. And just a reminder that the pre-order for the book is now open. And if you pre-order...
Seoul, South Korea is one of my favorite places that I've visited. And it might be just because, like, it was such a cool trip. But, yeah. Highly recommend. Oh, what brand is it? It is Sea Point Farms. Dry roasted edamame wasabi. I don't know what stores they're sold in. There's one near me that sells them. But I doubt they're up in Canada. That store, I mean. These are probably. Yeah, you can probably find them in Canada. Canada's in the house. And NILF is up near Canada. So there's definitely a there's definitely some goodness happening up in that part of the world right now, that general region. So I was watching a animal activism collective live stream, and Trey was talking about a video that made him laugh. He said it's because the first store owner basically explains how to shut down first stores during this video. So let's check it out. This should be good.
Hey! Fox!
We are talking about the travesty that it has occurred against Schumacher.
In this video, animal abuser Greg Schumacher, a fourth-generation furrier, breaks down step by step how activists forced his business to close down.
Furs, downtown Portland. This is a company that has been in business for 112 years down there doing business in our great city, and the city has let them down in the biggest way I've ever heard of. It's absolutely atrocious. We've actually got on the phone with us right now Greg Schumacher, the owner of Schumacher Furs, and he's going to tell us a little bit about it. Greg, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Greg, tell us, when did this happen? How did this happen? What has happened to your business?
Well, going back November 2nd of 2005, I opened up my new store in downtown Portland, and within about a week and a half after that, we started getting protested, and we've been protested every Saturday since that date, which is about over 18 months straight, and sometimes on a daily basis.
Now, where's your store? Was it located, and then where is it located now?
Well, it was on 10th and Yam Hill, and then we moved around the corner 2 blocks away to 9th and Morrison.
Oh, and is that very close to the infamous light rail?
Yeah, yes, right on it.
Oh, baby. Good and bad points for that, isn't that, right?
Right, yeah.
You can ride that free if you're just riding downtown, isn't that right?
To my understanding, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that encouraged some of this situation, because that seems odd.
That's right, David. That's why my video is going to have a hard out right when that video starts, so that we can all go check out Gail on AAC. Gail's a very, very nice person, though. Ole, good evening. What's up? What's up? Nice to see you. Nilf, who said you could step away? I don't recall you asking, but all right.
That you really had very little protesting or any.
There's something called, look, accountability. Okay, accountability, and we have to be a little more accountable, don't we, Nilf? Don't we, Nilf?
Protesting at all at your old location?
Occasionally we would, once or twice a year. I think it's one of the reasons we became quite more visible in the marketplace with our advertising campaign, our new store. We diversified our product line into not just furs, but also outerwear items, like cashmere, leather, and also men's items.
Oh.
Between the marketing and the beautiful new store and the new location, we just we're an aggressive company, and I think
my name is Lisa Michaels.
Us being more visible made a difference. I know. And they started
protesting. Thought I became Lisa.
And it was the same. Has it been the same group all along, or has it been a variety? We're going to watch some of the video, the horrific video that we saw at the press conference here a little bit later. But do you get the impression it's the same basic people all along?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a core group of the same people, and there's, if I may, intervals of different people that protest throughout this last 18 months. But In Defense of Animals is one group. The other group is PETA, and then we have Animal Liberation Front out there, and some anarchist type people. So it does vary a little bit.
Okay. Now, are you an animal lover, Greg?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm an animal lover too. It's offensive.
I too am an animal lover, Lisa. Lisa, I'm an animal lover. Greg sounds like an animal lover.
To animal lovers like ourselves to
Yeah.
have somebody take this. These are basically terrorists. I think,
Terrorists.
to take this to an extreme.
These are terrorists, Lisa. I agree with you. Yeah.
So you got these. The first time they showed up to protest at your store, you probably called the police. Am I
Bless your heart, Lisa.
right?
Well, there's the First Amendment right, which is, expression of freedom of speech, which is fine. But when they started doing any type of criminal activity or breaking any laws, yes, at that time I'd call the police, the non-emergency line, and request some help.
For disturbing the peace.
Disturbing the peace,
Disturbing the peace.
Conduct, menacing, trespassing. I mean, we've had paint thrown on the building. Our customers are stalked. Many times they block the entrance of the building.
Oh, this footage is horrific. Oh my, she's right. Horrific footage.
Been a total disruption.
Look at people walking in.
Ever since it started.
So you called the police when that happened, and what was their response in downtown Portland?
Well, I mean, over this whole period of time of the protest, we've called the police numerous times, and they've actually, in many cases, had police just right across the street especially on Saturdays, which are heavily protested today. Their response has basically been nothing. Many times we'd call the police, and they'd say they're sending an officer up, and no officer would show up. Or an officer would show up, and they'd come up maybe an hour and a half later. After an incident had happened, we'd ask to file a report, and they wouldn't file a report. And they'd basically say that they could not do anything about the situation.
Oh, Greg. No,
and so,
that's awful, Greg. And you're an animal lover, aren't you, Greg?
So,
That's got to be infuriating. Did you try to hire your own?
I'm bouncing off the walls, Lisa. I am madder than a what do Southern people say? I'm Southern, by the way. But this is another level. Where is she? He's like running a store in Portland.
Your own private security force?
Well, actually, we did. Yeah.
Guys?
I mean, we hired our
I'm
own.
as mad as I got a bee in my bonnet. Is that something they say? I don't know.
Security, and we've
Lisa, I got a bee in my bonnet about this whole situation.
had to pay for that, of course, and we've had security out there pretty much.
It's horrific footage
since the beginning stages of the protest.
And that didn't clear it away. They still.
Oh no!
Well, even one of the problems.
Look what he's doing, guys. I'm sorry. I should have gave y'all a trigger warning and blurred this out.
Problems that we had also is that our security, if they saw an incident happening out there that was illegal, they would many times ask us to call the police for backup if they thought things were getting out of control. And even in situations like that, we couldn't get police response.
Oh my gosh.
As bizarre as that may sound.
That's amazing. So they
Now I got 2 bees in my bonnet.
had nobody to back you up. So I would imagine that would put your security team in a precarious position by not having anybody to back them up. It's like saying, you better do this or else. There's nowhere else.
Right. And so, yes, it does. It makes security feel uncomfortable. And we do have professional security. They're trained, and they've really actually never been in a situation like this, from what they've explained to me.
So this is all culminated in forcing you to go out of business, I understand.
Right. I mean, what's happened is, generally speaking, is after these year and a half of protests, which are out of control, it's intimidated people from coming into the store, and many times they just physically could not get through the door. So I actually attempted to move the store about 5 months ago to a private mall setting. And I actually tried 4 different malls and actually got acceptance or intentions that they wanted us. And we kind of got invited and then uninvited. The protesters did some email campaigns to the mall owners and the management saying that they were going to protest if they let Schumacher in. And so that management did some email campaigns to and I actually tried 4 different malls and actually got acceptance or intentions that they wanted us. And we kind of got invited and then uninvited. The protesters did some email campaigns to the mall owners and the management.
Oh my God, not an email campaign. Lisa, I feel you.
Saying that they were going to protest if they let Schumacher in, and so that discouraged the landlords from leasing to us. So basically, the situation as of today is we still get protested. There's still criminal activity going on, and we cannot move the store.
So you're forced to move out.
We're forced to move out.
Nice edit there, Lisa. That was a good one. That was some good editing right there.
I mean, and
see that again.
We cannot move the store.
So you're forced to move out.
We're forced to move out. I mean,
because
nice effect. You know, got to give her credit. This is back in the day too. She's using special effects. Lisa's sharp, you know.
So that's why we're going out of business.
Oh,
you know,
oh no. Is this Nancy Grace I'm watching? This is let's watch the Nancy. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna watch the Nancy Grace Peter Young interview.
Family's been in business for 112 years.
That is such a crime. That's just the worst. I can't believe this.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Bees in my bonnet. Do y'all have bees in your bonnets too? Bonnet check. Check your bonnets for bees. Y'all don't care about the bees, do you? I bet you don't. I bet all of you eat avocados, probably even almonds. I bet you do. I bet you do. You don't care about the bees.
So. How long ago did you realize that you weren't going to be able to get a new spot to relocate your store? You weren't going to be able to do business. You hadn't been able to do business in downtown Portland for all this time, and you were going to actually have to close down your business after it was 112 years. Is that what it is?
Well, our family's been in the business for
Your family's been in
years.
it. Well, yeah. Well, I'd hope that you don't have your 112-year-old grandfather.
I'm a 4th generation.
I hope
That
not.
is amazing. That is amazing. What a wonderful tradition for your family, and to have it smashed like this. And
well,
it sounds...
I made the decision in February after I realized that I had exhausted all the alternatives as far as moving the store. And once I came to that realization and came to the realization that this protest situation is not going to end, that's when I made the decision to close.
That's so sad. That's so sad. I'm sure did you contact any of the bosses of the policemen?
My wife and I actually went to the city council meeting in front of the mayor and the city commissioners. We contacted the commander, the chief of police.
Who's got a criminal record?
The governor of the state. We contacted the U.S. Marshal's office, U.S. Attorney's office, city attorney's office. We reached out to any government agency that we could to try to get the local, state, and federal laws enforced. And no one...
This is horrific footage, by the way. Horrific. She was not lying. Look at this. God.
Seemed to be able to...
I apologize. I wish I had warned y'all about this one.
Come to our rescue. The mayor, I believe, is commissioner of the police department, so it probably stems from there. And I don't really have an explanation of exactly why the police department has responded or not responded, if I may, in the manner that they have.
This is atrocious that this has happened to you, and so you're real busy today, aren't you?
Yeah, we are swamped. I mean, we've got this going out of business sale going on. where we're offering, up to 65% off. Everything's at least 50% off.
Oh, yeah, you got to do that because you got to get it moved out.
Yeah, we got to get the goods moved out.
When are you supposed to be moved out of the building?
We're supposed to be out by May 31st.
Oh, wow.
And the sale that we're doing, we're just kind of at the tail end of it. We're kind of playing it by ear as far as from 1 week to the next. But as long as we're busy, we'll stay here until we can.
All right. Well, I don't want to take up any more time from you and working hard down there at Schumacher Furs and trying to liquidate your inventory like this. And I'm really sorry, and my condolences goes out to you and Linda Schumacher for the horrible way you've been treated by our community. And what
was that edit?
And your inventory.
Lisa?
Like this. And I'm really sorry, and my condolences goes out to you and Linda Schumacher for the horrible way you've been treated by our community. And I appreciate you coming on the
Man, we should all learn how to do edits from Lisa.
show.
Well, thank you.
Extraordinary abuse of the litigation process and threatened free speech rights. Court records show he ordered Greg Schumacher and Schumacher clothes and outerwear to compensate PETA, inoffensive animals.
Give me your fur! Give me your fur! Give me your fur!
Video was phenomenal. Man, that was a good one. That was a good one. So that one reminded me of this Nancy Grace interview with Peter Young. I think Lisa rebranded, got herself a job on Fox Nation, and this is now Lisa.
Grace, this is America's Most Wanted Overtime. Tonight, a female
She's definitely got bees in her bonnet.
believed to be a homegrown terrorist who put first responders' lives in danger across the country. Josephine Sunshine Overacre, wanted for a string of arsons causing tens of millions of dollars of damage. And special guest joining us, Peter Young. Hold on to your seat. Convicted
Hold on to your seat.
eco-terrorist. Peter Young. Hold on to your seat. Convicted eco-terrorist, former fugitive on the run nearly a decade, and you can find him at peteryoung.me or on Amazon at Liberate, his new book. Peter, I want to start with you. You were, as they say, a politically motivated fugitive, aka a criminal, much like Overacre. But what is different? A criminal, politically motivated fugitive, aka a criminal, much like Overacre. But what is different about the psyche of politically motivated fugitives?
What's different about criminals like Ms. Overacre or myself are that we're motivated simply by compassion. It's actually the opposite of what motivates most criminals. We are motivated by desire to save animals from horrific situations such as slaughterhouses and labs. And because the extremity of what happens to these animals on laboratories and factory farms is so extreme that we are forced to take extreme actions in order to save them.
Can I ask you, sir, were you ever concerned about a first responder rushing into a burning structure that you had created and losing their life?
I never engaged in the act of arson. Let's just be clear about that. All I did was free animals.
I mean, yeah, far be it from Lisa to do her homework before the interview. Sorry, I'm just going to refer to her as Lisa.
From farms. However, arson, it's against the ALF credo to ever put lives at risk. The ALF only sets fire to empty buildings and equipment like trucks. So there's never any risk of lives at risk.
What about firefighters that show up Peter, you and I assume, will have to agree to disagree. I support your cause of saving animals, but I do not support arson where firefighters that I have worked with my entire career in public service can rush into a burning building and risk their lives. But hey, that's just me. Let me ask you about how you were able to avoid capture for 7 years.
This is before the term Karen had come out. And this was Karen TV.
Sure. I was facing a life sentence for freeing mink and foxes from fur farms, literally 82 years in federal prison. And so there's really only 2 rules of being a successful fugitive. Number 1 is to have a real ID under a fake name, which I accomplished, and then don't call your parents. If you could do those 2 things, the rest is just simply a matter of not getting arrested. So ultimately I was arrested for a petty offense and I had my fingerprints run, and that's how I was caught.
Peter, you said you were caught on a petty offense and fingerprinted. What was the offense?
Shoplifting.
Having been in
Look
similar
at her.
shoes to Overacre, what do you think it will take for her to finally either get caught or surrender?
You have to understand the people that are surrounding her, and this is speculation, but I can speak to my situation. The people surrounding me, I had a $100,000 price tag on my head from the Fur Commission USA Trade Group. And the people around me knew that, and they still didn't turn me in despite that massive financial incentive. And the reason for that was that because I was surrounded by people that shared my belief that animals are not here for us to kill, murder, and that sometimes we have to work outside the law to save those animals. And so I would have to imagine that, financial motivation is not going to be what it's going to take to get people that are surrounding an animal rights fugitive to turn her in.
You just heard Peter Young. He supports her to the hilt. Peter Young, so devoted to animal rights. Peter, I'm just as devoted to victims' rights, and I have worked with so many fire people that risk their lives going into burning warehouses. Maybe they were empty, but those firefighters go in and risk everything. That's my concern tonight, Peter. I want to thank you for being with us, Peter. Convicted eco-terrorist, former fugitive for nearly a decade, author of Liberate.
Great book, by the way. Get that book. If y'all haven't read that book, read that book. Liberate, Stories and Lessons on Animal Liberation Above the Law. It's got a testimonial from Nancy Grace, from what I remember. A criminal, Peter Young. Peter, I support your cause. We're going to have to agree to disagree.
On Amazon, you can find him at peteryoung.me. Peter, thank you for being with us.
All right. That was a pretty good vid. Could have been called a Nancy. Yeah. I don't know, Louis. I don't know. Let's find out what's going on with Zoe.
Supermarkets and drugstores and department stores, it's very doable.
Kane.
And I would like to say that you activism. So I'm going to go straight out to Matthew Zirble, who is outside the courthouse. Yesterday was a crucial day. Can you bring us up to date? What happened yesterday?
You're live now,
Matthew?
by the way.
Yeah, Jade, yesterday we had a large series of more documents, mostly social media posts that the prosecution was trying to introduce, very clearly trying to make the trial heavily focused on Zoe's beliefs, Zoe's prior actions, many of which have very little relation, I think, to this open rescue case. And then we were able to get a little bit more of the cross-examination on Zoe about those documents. Now, a lot of them were posts about different actions she's done, different views she's had. A couple of them were posts about...
Did Peter serve time? He did. He did. He went to prison.
The Reichardt action or the Sunrise action. those are the ones
That
that
interview took place after. He was acting as a spokesperson at that point for that other activist. They invited him on because he had since, he was out as a former ALF person because he'd been arrested and went to prison. And speaking about it, writing books about it, including Liberate.
the prosecution is probably the most interested in bringing in,
What's up, Brian?
especially the civil disobedience done at Reichardt. That's been mostly ruled to be excluded, the civil disobedience part, as Zoe was just part of, I believe, the rescue there.
Yeah, when you say Reichardt, a lot of people have no idea what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Sure, there was an action in, I can't remember if it was 2017 or 18, I think, where people went to Reichardt Duck Farm. There was a series of activists who rescued 31 ducks there, and separately activists, some activists locked themselves to some of the slaughter facility there. And one of the, I think it was a worker, turned it on while they were doing that, actually. And so police were, involved primarily for the civil disobedience part, because that's where people were locking down for longer. And that was one of the things that Wayne Shung previously was part of a trial for conspiracy to trespass there. And so they're trying to use those charges.
Even though Wayne didn't step foot on the property.
As a claim that Zoe should have known that this was not legal, the legal opinion regarding rescue. Of course, her argument is this was...
And Wayne was like, as he testified, basically out of the loop regarding the Reichardt action. He had very little to no involvement in that action.
It was all for civil disobedience.
Happened to be there.
Whereas the action that she took was an open rescue, not part of civil disobedience.
So yes, thank you so much, Matthew, for bringing us up to date. We have attorney Justine Block with us, as well as Unchained TV host Lindsay Baker. Obviously, what is happening right now is a war, and we're going to let Matthew go and look for some people.
What's up, Felix? How are you doing? Felix, you be careful of that marshmallow minefield. You never know where it is. I mean, Ali was in Australia, so we know there's marshmallow minefields there, but that's not to say there aren't minefields in Canada filled with marshmallows, just ready to ignite.
People who might have also been in the courtroom to get their reaction to what's happening while we talk to you. Zoe Rosenberg is in her testifying phase, the cross-examination phase, and what the prosecutors want to do is they want to bring in her history of animal rights activism, which is extensive, and try to paint her as some kind of radical. Unfortunately, that could be extremely effective. We know that they're going to be...
I miss the good old days, Felix, when I could just walk around carefree. This was maybe a year ago. Back in those days, I was walking around just stepping wherever, like I was chill. Nowadays, I carefully examine every bit of land that I step on to see if there's like the indentation of a marshmallow or something. It's a scary world we live in.
Be allowed to bring in the issue of Zoe Rosenberg chaining.
And let me tell you, if it snows, that's even harder. If it snows, you can't even see a marshmallow because they're the same color. So they all blend together. So I highly recommend, if it snows, just stay in and watch one of my live streams. It's my advice.
Yourself to a basketball hoop during an NBA playoff game, but I don't know if they're going to be able to introduce the video. I'm going to play this news clip that basically outlines, fair use. We're just showing the news.
So, guys, I've talked a little about the dire edamame situation. Well, all hope is not lost because I have these guys. And sure, I know, not healthy. I get it. But look, what does that say? Can y'all see it? It says vegan, so they're vegan. And they're like little M&Ms, vegan M&Ms. Dark chocolate, crispy quinoa, gems. So I'm good.
Because this
But I might get fat.
is the issue of the day. Will the jury see this? It's very dramatic, and it happened a few years ago, and Zoe was younger, but this is what happened, and then we'll discuss it on the other side. Will the jury see this? And if they do, what impact will it have?
She's chained herself to a stanchion, a little sleeper cell of chicken protesters. Is that a real chain? Is it plastic or is it metal? That thing looks like
I think it's metal. Ball crew. And now they get the chain off and they're carrying her off.
The people in Memphis have no idea what's going on right now.
I was saying to Zoe, like, you just made their day. They were watching some boring ass game. Probably a blowout. It was Memphis. They were probably getting destroyed by somebody. Zoe goes in there and puts on a show for him. I would be like, damn, we got our money's worth today.
All right, so that is extremely dramatic. Justine Block, our attorney today, if the jurors saw that, that would obviously have quite an impact. We know they're going to be able to learn about it, but we don't know if it's just going to be a still photo or if it's going to be that entire thing played. What are your thoughts?
Nope, nil.
Thanks, Jane. My thoughts are that the defense is.
Y'all probably can't read the small print on it, but it's a V for certified vegan. Even has a website, vegan.org, right underneath it. Beautiful voice. Boss man, what's up? What's up? This right here is an update on Zoe's trial. Nil. I know. I started to say that, but then I was like, wait, let me soften the blow. Just talk about how it's small print. They're live right now, by the way, Ben. Anybody who wants to join their live stream, have at it. I won't be offended. You can interact with them.
Is doing the best job they can
See
to
our boy
argue
Kane's
that this
there,
would be highly
or was.
prejudicial for the jury to see this. It's not relevant because it relates to civil disobedience, not a rescue case. And I hope the judge is swayed
Yeah, I can't eat these
to
M&Ms
rule in favor of the defense. It sounds as though he's inclined to let it in, though, based on what Matthew said. Maybe he hasn't decided yet, but it looks very prejudicial.
Yeah. What I understood, looking at the Purdue feed, that's what it's called, the Purdue Rescue Trial feed on X, is that he's letting that in, but we don't know if it's just a snapshot, which is one thing, but the video itself would be, it's very dramatic video, let's put it that way. And then if you have maybe basketball fans, right, who are members of the jury, they might be saying, well, gee, why did she interrupt a basketball game? Now, she was
Okay. If the basketball fans are offended that there was a very minor disruption to their game with a protester chaining themselves to something, grow a sack.
objecting to one of the big executives' investments and what they're doing with their money. And we can't really get into that. I don't think the jury's going to hear anything about that. But what are your thoughts, Lindsay Baker?
Well, I'm just feeling like Justine is about it being highly prejudicial. And I'm wondering why the judge, if he's going to be fair, would allow that footage to play, yet not show footage that, like, of the slaughter line has restricted what the jury can see. I know they've seen some things, but not nearly what would really tell the story. And I think as far as the company's claim that this is agro-terrorism, that's just, to me, it's just shocking, because the real terrorism that's going on is happening to the animals. And that's what's trying to be brought forward here, the transparency, to let people know what's actually going on. I brought a friend with me to an event the other day. She's buying free-range chicken. I said, if you're going to buy it, save yourself the money, because let me show you the pictures of what your free-range chicken actually looks like. So if we're going to be, showing years ago with a young person, we know when you're growing up, you may do things, maybe she wouldn't even do that now. Not to say that what she did wasn't justified, but I'm saying people change. Why are you going backwards? Let's talk about the issues that are right in front of us, like these animals flailing on the floor upside down that can't turn over.
Excellent points. I want to play what the Direct Action Everywhere communications lead, Cassie King, has said about this crucial moment. This trial has been going on for more than 20 days. I think we're in day 21. Frankly, I've kind of lost count. And this is the crucial moment. The defendant on the stand, she could go to prison for 5 years. She rescued 4 chickens. The question is she guilty of conspiracy? Let's take a look at her charges very briefly. Felony conspiracy.
Criminal.
Is she guilty of trespass and vehicle tampering? She could do 5 years. The most serious count is the felony conspiracy. So the cross-examination of the defendant who was on the stand at this juncture, maybe not the second, but during this phase of the trial, is the key. Let's hear what the head of Direct Action Everywhere, of which Zoe is a member, an animal rights organization, has to say about where we're at.
Zoe is not yet done with cross-examination. She is going to continue tomorrow at 1:30. At 11 a.m. tomorrow, before the jury gets there, we're going to have argument on the video clips, because we only got through argument on the documents, photos of social media posts and things like that today. And some of those the judge exercised his discretion to exclude, but many of them are coming in. So the jury is going to see a lot of protests and other things that Zoe has participated in, which might not be much of a surprise since they already heard that she's so committed to animal rights and founded a sanctuary at the age of 11 and obviously cares deeply about protecting animals. But we haven't even really gotten into that, so I think this cross is going to continue for quite a while.
So I want to go back out to Matthew Zirble at the scene. Is there anything else you can give us in terms of insight? So yes, they will hear about the basketball game, but at this point, we don't know if they're going to see that footage, because, that footage is.
And I mean, I've made this point a bunch of times before. I feel like this is completely silly and looks bad on the prosecutor's part, but sometimes they seem to work because the lack of critical thinking.
Yeah, it's truly it's riveting, but it could really sway jurors. And remember, we've got a mostly male jury here.
Yeah.
Unmute. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's hard to say what the judge will allow. I think he's been excluding a good number of things. At the same time, every time that another file comes up, another video, another social media post, the defense lawyers have been asking, there is a limit here somewhere. The prosecution's case for why these are relevant is they want to say this is one publicity stunt in a series of publicity stunts. That's essentially their claim. is that they can bring these in because it goes to her bias, interest, or motive. And the one that they're specifically alleging is that this is a sort of publicity stunt, not really a rescue for the sake of the rescue. And we've seen that already in Cross. They'll ask, usually, they can't testify directly, but they'll start by saying, remember how in the defense, they opened by saying this was not a publicity stunt, this was a rescue.
I saw, I think, still photos of it.
Let's go talk about things that you've done that are relevant to publicity. And that's very clearly the core argument they're trying to make. And so there is some amount that they get to bring that in, but the judge has not yet made a clear, definitive ruling about what constitutes too far, what is too much to be prejudicial to the jury. And so it's a bit unclear how much he's going to let in, because every single instance of a social media post could in and of itself be relevant, but stacked with all of the series of social media posts we've seen already, the relevance of them kind of diminishes per social media post. And the judge has not made any clear statements about how much it diminishes versus what the prejudicial value is. And so I'm hopeful about excluding the video.
We've got some breaking news. I'm just hearing this from court observer Tiffany Brunelli. Zoe will not be testifying today. There is going to be more motions. There are going to be more motions outside of the jury's presence, back and forth, arguing about all this. Zoe's testimony will continue on Thursday in the morning at 10:30. Now, that is very significant to me. We thought we might have a verdict by Friday. And let me tell you something. Jurors resent it when they're left to have their lives on hold day after day after day. And this case involves 4 chickens with a net worth of $24 value if they were healthy, which the defense says they were not. Now it appears that this trial is going to drag into next week. I want to go to Annie Abram. I know you've been a juror in the past. What would your reaction be if you were?
Yep. All right, we'll stay tuned. Some new Jade videos. Let's check them out.
But do you believe it's possible to respect someone if we're exploiting them for flesh or breast milk or eggs or any other reason?
It's not what we should do, definitely not. The only thing why I am not vegan yet is because there are not so many possibilities for me back when I lived in US. Like, it was really hard to...
Where in the States do you live, if you don't mind me asking?
Florida.
Okay, I lived in Florida. I've been vegan for 8 years. It's definitely possible.
Yeah, but it was so expensive. Like, I mean, a meat replacement back in 2022 when I lived there was like $8 or something.
Right.
Compared to the other thing, it was way more expensive. But I'm trying to get rid of like milk and stuff.
Okay.
So I don't eat meat. I'm a vegetarian, and I'm trying to get more into, eating less and less like products made from animals.
Right, but I just want you to know the cheapest foods on the market are vegan. You know, like beans and rice and pasta, potatoes, grains, legumes. Another thing, veganism, I want to make it clear it's not a diet.
Yeah.
It's an ethical principle against exploiting animals. So it goes beyond diet. It's also like not using them for fashion or entertainment.
That's for sure, yeah. That's just a stupid thing. Like, if you use animals for fashion, has nothing.
I don't know where she is, but somewhere in Europe.
But using them as food is just as stupid, right?
Right, yeah, but you need food, and I totally agree. You don't need to eat animals, and you don't need to eat their products, that's for sure. But in my opinion, using them for fashion is way more stupid than eating them, because you need to eat something, and obviously you can.
Well, you need to wear something too, and obviously you can wear anything else.
Yeah, sure.
But, if you were in the victim's position, these animals' positions, how soon would you want this injustice to end?
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously.
immediately, right? And you know, like the best part about being vegan for the animals, of course, it's not that they're not being exploited and oppressed by you. And for you, you can say that you respect them and you're not being a hypocrite.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So how many more animals should be exploited by you?
Well, obviously 0. That's the point.
Yeah.
But it's not that easy to change it from one day to another. At least for me, like I believe it's a process, and it takes some time. But obviously, it should take as less time as possible.
I mean, you could decide right now to go vegan. You know, it's a simple choice, really. Like you could just pick a different type of milk at the grocery store, and you pick like instead of buying chicken's eggs, you buy tofu or something. Like it's really not hard.
Yeah, but where do I get tofu, for example?
The grocery store.
Yeah, but if I'm not living in Berlin, like obviously here you get everything.
I got tofu in Florida.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about Florida. Okay. I'm talking about like I'm from the southern part of Germany, like Black Forest region.
Germany, I guess.
In a small village with around about like 6,000 people living there, and it's a way more conservative. So we have like 2 grocery stores, and I mean in the last few years.
Sounds like they're in Berlin right now with this video.
There are more and more like vegetarian products and also vegan products, but compared to the other products, it's like, I don't know, 5% or something.
Yeah.
So here in Berlin,
So get
and
the
I've been here
5%.
for like 2 weeks now, you have way more possibilities and options.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't live here. I live in Portugal. I live in rural Portugal. There's no vegan options at I mean, there's beans and rice and grains, legumes, pasta, potatoes, fruits, veggies, nuts, seeds. Like, and I don't have a very big budget for food.
Yeah.
So that's what I rely on, and I just eat that because I just can't come up with a good justification to exploit the animals.
Sure, yeah.
And, you know, like, you could do that too. You could rely on the hundreds of thousands of edible plant foods instead of treating the animals as a resource.
Yeah, sure. You're from Portugal.
I live there. I'm from the United States. I live in Portugal.
Oh, cool. Are you here because of like the big party at like Schloss Bellevue?
I'm actually here just to stand up for the animals.
Oh, cool.
Right.
Because I just got there, and there was like Portugal as like a partner nation. It was pretty cool though. But yeah, you obviously got a point. And I think it's pretty cool that you're here like to stand for animals and, you know, do the whole thing. And I promise you that I'm trying to get more into, you know, being vegan.
Right. But you could decide today to just be vegan.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, but let me sleep a night over it, and then I'm gonna decide and try to get more and more into like not eating animal products.
Yeah, but when you think about it from your victim's position.
Well, I do, but it's like a choice that I believe is for more than just a moment, right? So it's basically you choose. Well, if you choose to be vegan, it's probably for the rest of your life, right?
I mean, it should be. Just like how if you choose to not be racist or sexist, that should be forever.
Obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't, but this is just another justice movement. The reason I bring up racism and sexism is because this is just another justice movement to liberate these animals.
Yeah, I wouldn't compare eating food like meat and stuff to being racist, but...
I mean, I would say it's worse because we're exploiting them to death.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's worse than like discriminating other people.
I mean, would you, if you had a choice to be discriminated against for your skin color or to be exploited to death for a sandwich,
right,
which would you pick?
I got your point, but like, and obviously I think that we should protect animals as good as possible. But on the other hand, you can't compare animals to human beings.
Yeah, you can compare animals to human beings, and people do that all the time. All the time.
And you don't have to equate the two to be vegan.
They do it for positive reasons, for negative reasons. They do it during discussions like this, for instance.
You just have to decide that they deserve enough respect to not be exploited to death by us.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to think about it, and I'm going to...
Let's hope she doesn't go into sales. Let's keep her in the movement.
You food for thought. This is a call to action because what we're doing is just, it's an injustice. And, you know, if you were being exploited to death for flesh or breast milk or eggs...
I got you.
Right. You wouldn't want somebody to just think about it.
Yeah.
And you say that we should be protecting them too, so I take it you agree we should stand up for them?
Well, we should, definitely.
Yeah, so don't just be vegan. but stand up for them. Stand up against this injustice.
Right. I got your point, but I'm going to think about it, and probably I'm going to decide the right thing to do. But
Yeah,
I'm
be on
not
the right
gonna-
side of history.
I'm not going to make a decision right now. And you got to understand that it's more than just, doing it out of some thoughts. And obviously, you got a really important point there. But if you really decide it for the rest of your life, which you should, as you said, I think you should at least sleep one night about it and think about it, what you really want to do.
I mean, okay, think about it and sleep about it, but how about until you make your decision, you are eating plant-based so that no other animals have to be exploited and oppressed in your name until you make that decision?
Yeah, sure.
And would you like more information on us?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, you can take this, and I think that we have an area in your region, or if not, you could open one. But even if you don't join Anonymous for the Voiceless, there's so many ways that you can stand up for the animals.
All right.
I wish you a great vegan life.
Thank you.
Yes.
Nicely done, Jade. Nicely done. Y'all sub to Jade. Shotgunning fallacies and excuses. Disabled people have no value. Insane takes from philosophy students. Let's watch these two, and then I'll call it a stream, and then we can all go watch. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch Gail Eisnitz on Animal Activism Collective stream, which is coming up at 3 if you're on the West Coast. Coming up at 6 if you're on the East Coast. If you're in the UK, 11, right? 11 p.m. Might be a little late for y'all.
The health of the person when he doesn't have proteins or something.
Well, do you believe that you can be healthy without exploiting animals?
Like, I don't know. Like, my question is, how could we have another protein source?
Yeah.
And in the same time, it's good for the human health.
Right. So, plant-based diets have been shown to be perfectly healthy.
Also, like, the plant-based thing is also when you don't rely on the protein sources, the normal one, and rely on the plant-based, this will also harm the...
It's actually not true. You can
because imagine that all the people in the world just go to the plant-based source. What would happen?
That would be a great development for the entire planet.
Well, we could actually feed the entire population using significantly less resources, because think about this. We have millions of people starving to death in the world right now, but we're overfeeding 92 billion land animals that we slaughter every year. Most of the plants that we're harvesting are being fed to the animals that we're forcing into existence to exploit and kill.
That makes sense, but like before
Good
like
response.
a couple of months,
Good
I
response.
heard like a video. The video was saying if all the people become vegetarian or vegan, that will harm ايش يعني التربة؟ the earth, you know.
But yeah, she just explained this, and you said that's a good point. And okay, now she has to explain again how all the plants are being fed to the animals. So if we just ate the plants, we'd need fewer resources. So that would obviously be better for the planet. Thought she got it during the last point about world hunger, but apparently Jade needs to explain that to her as well.
You know, like exploiting animals. Well, I'm here to stand up just for the animals. You know, I'm here to be a voice for them. But
I understand your idea, and I found it really reasonable and a good one. But like when we always want to change it from one side to one side or care just for one thing, we also have to care about the other side. You know, like if we just wanted to care now about the
What does that mean? We need to care about what other side?
care about more things. It's possible to care about multiple
if we just
issues.
focus on them and forget the earth and the planet.
Right, but you know, actually exploiting animals is harming the earth and the planet.
Yeah, I know.
It is, but
I'm like two-faced thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's, and you know, but like, yes, there's other problems happening in the world, but right now you could decide to not be the reason that this is happening by deciding to go vegan.
Yeah, but like, why the God create all these animals for? Do you think? What do you think? What is your opinion?
Do you think that God created them to be exploited to death by us?
This is my question for you. Like, what do you think they were created for?
I mean, the same reason you were created, the same reason I was created, just to live their life, not to be exploited to death.
I also heard another information that
God.
methane that gets out from the cows and all these things, if they stayed alive and become like more numbers that they are now,
but
this would also hurt the ozone.
But that's not like.
God. It would hurt the ozone if we didn't. It's just people don't understand that we have all these animals because we are breeding them. It gets exhausting having to say the same thing every day. That's my new song. It's copyrighted, so don't steal that.
Like these animals, they exist because we are raping them into existence.
Yeah, but I think the circle, like the cycle, that...
No, but these are human-made creatures. You know, these are not animals that exist in nature. These are animals that we have selectively bred and genetically modified to be meat, milk, and egg-producing machines. And they only exist because we force them to exist.
Exactly. For me, I don't really support doing all these things exactly a specifically way and making the animals like machines for us. But in the same time, sometimes I'm thinking like this is the cycle of the world. This is the cycle of life.
This is the circle of oppression and violence, though. And it's not something that you need to be a part of.
Yeah,
this is a justice movement to liberate them.
Yeah, I support you.
Yes, but I'm not looking for you to support me, actually. I'm looking for you to just respect the animals by living vegan. Because you can't respect somebody while exploiting them.
Yeah, and also there's another problem, like sometimes the plant-based things are like more expensive.
Well, I mean, you can find expensive plant-based things, surely, but the cheapest foods on the market are plant-based. You know, like beans, rice, grains, legumes, pasta, potatoes. It's actually kind of like, you could say it's a rich privilege to be able to afford to eat animals and their secretions, because those are expensive.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Okay, that was a nice talk, and now I have to go, but I support you, and I hope one day to become vegan.
Well, you could decide today to be vegan, but you know,
I'll do my best with this from this side. Yeah.
But I'm not just giving you food for thought. I'm giving you a call to action because, you know, until you decide to go vegan, you're going to be the reason that this injustice is continuing.
Yeah, I'll do my best from my side, and I hope that you do your best from your side, and
yeah, your best is deciding to be vegan.
Yeah.
You've got this. It's really easy.
I've got this. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
So,
don't worry, yeah.
What do you think? Will you be vegan from now on?
Like, I can't take this important decision right now, you know, because that is, as I told you, what I came here for. But I will put this like in my mind, this topic.
Right. I mean, but if you were in.
Everybody does this where they can't say it in a conversation.
The victim's position, would you want somebody to just think about not exploiting you to death or to just decide to not exploit you to death?
As I told you before, like, you know, this is the life. Everything is so terrible. Look, we're coming here from Palestinian thing, and look here, the Israeli side making themselves that they are the victims. So this is the life.
But you're not the reason that Palestinians are suffering and being exploited right now. But if you're not being vegan, you are the reason that the animals are being oppressed and exploited.
Nice talk. I have to go, but thank you for all.
Hello, welcome.
Oh, link to that one. Watch one more, and then I'll take off there. She said in the video she lives in Portugal. And at the time of that video, they were in Berlin. Or maybe not that one. Maybe that was the last one. Is it Louis' birthday? What? Louis' birthday? Wow. Whoa, he can drink now? Our little Louis growing up, isn't he? Our little Louis. He's just growing up. Okay. All right, let's get ready to sing. No copyright. That's the main thing. You'll have a copyright-free Louis birthday. "21. He's 21. I think that's what she said. All right. Hang on. Let's not jump ahead. First of all, let's make sure Louis is here. So I don't want to humiliate myself by singing and he's not even here. Confirm your presence, Louis. Confirm your presence. That's what you do on your birthday. You check in. You check in, Louis. He's not here. All right. We'll sing to him anyway. Happy birthday. Wait, let me find my range. Relax. That was a trick. I was tricking y'all to think that I can't sing. So that when I belt it out and the tears start to form in the corners of your eyes, you guys will say, well, that was a good joke about that not being able to sing thing. Okay. Me mo mama me mo mama mama. Me mo mama me mama mama. Wow. Just get my voice ready, my mouth muscles all loosened up. And happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Why did it slow down on me? I can see why it's not copyrighted, because this is fucked. This is fucked. Okay, let's try it again. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Louie. Happy birthday to you. One time, birthday song. One time. That's all you get. That's all you get. Now I, if someone wants to hand out the tissues, then y'all go ahead. I do play the piano. I actually do play the piano. Although I haven't in a minute. I play it better than that shit. That was terrible. Whoever played that, listen. First of all, you're saying happy birthday to you, and then it fucking slows down on you and then makes you sound like a fool. But they're the fool. They're the ones who couldn't keep it in rhythm. Listen. What's that delay? What's that delay? Terrible. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, whoever played that. That's why it's copyright free. All right. One more.
Hey, how do you guys feel about humans exploiting other animals?
Shame on that pianist.
I have mixed feelings. It's like a thing we've talked a lot about, right? Like in the past. We just, I don't know, we have like we both study philosophy. We have very abstract debates about like the moral status of non-human animals.
Louis great. Louis always always all over the place, supporting all the channels.
I see.
Happy birthday, Louis. I'm glad you know, I wish you were here, Louis, but I'm also glad you're maybe doing something more interesting.
I tend to draw a line, like in the realm of animals, where I have to like morally consider them and where not. I mean, something like a chicken I wouldn't like consider something I would have to morally consider.
You don't. Okay, so what do you think deserves moral consideration?
Things that can morally consider me.
Okay, so disabled people that have a lower cognitive level of thinking, you think they don't deserve moral consideration?
Not in themselves, like extrinsically maybe.
That is extremely ableist. Do you understand that's an ableist stance? Do you agree with him? Do you think that we should not give moral consideration to disabled people that can't give us moral consideration?
I don't think he wants to say that.
Well, I would give them moral consideration, but not for their own sake.
So, okay, so I tell you my position. I think anybody that is sentient deserves moral consideration. Anybody with their own subjective thoughts and feelings deserves moral consideration. And I think it's strange that you don't agree.
Well,
oh yeah,
I'm skeptical
probably
about the idea that sentience constitutes a moral status. Like, maybe first of all, where would you draw the line of sentience? I mean, there are like electrical signals in certain plants.
Jane told me one time when we were speculating that she's like 22, 23, something like that, about the same age as Kane.
That like indicate that they feel like or are responsive to things that happen in their environment.
So yeah, but responding to something is not sentience. My phone responds to things. It's not sentient.
Exactly, but whether you draw the line,
might be his girlfriend.
The ability to suffer and feel pain or feel joy and enjoy life. It's simple. I mean, do you think that we should be respecting other animals?
Yeah, for example, I would consider like most primates like to have like a cognitive. There's like cognitive structures that would make me think that I would be able to some degree of moral considerations that I propose, like for example, primates being in zoos.
Okay, I mean, do you think that we should be respecting other animals?
Yes, and I mean, I follow your thought about sentience, and I think, yeah, we had that debate, and I also, like, I agree with you. I also think that that's a good criteria for moral consideration.
Yeah, but can we actually respect somebody else if we are exploiting them for flesh or breast milk or eggs or any other selfish purpose?
Oh.
Right.
You're right.
And so vegan.
Good. I wonder how many relationships these cubes have ended, because we keep on seeing these videos where the guy's just flailing around and the girlfriend's like looking at him and looking at the activist and looking at him and looking at the activist like she's watching a tennis match. It's just, and somewhere in her brain she's thinking, oh shit, I'm dating a dumbass. Fuck, I found myself in a relationship with a dumbass.
Veganism is the ethical stance against humans exploiting other animals. So we don't exploit them for flesh or breast milk or eggs or their skin or any other selfish purpose. Do you guys feel that there would be anything preventing you from going vegan?
Probably my philosophical views on that, because
But your philosophical views are concerning, because you said that the disabled people that can't give us moral consideration, that they don't deserve moral consideration for their own best interest?
Also, there was one video we watched like a couple weeks back, and the girlfriend was, you could tell she was kind of agreeing with the activists. And then I looked out in the background and I saw all these studly, handsome dudes wearing their AV shirts, you know, running a booth or something. And I was like, a lot of options for her in this crowd. She wants to jump ship.
they don't have intrinsic. I don't think that intrinsic value.
Jacob,
if they lack certain cognitive abilities.
Do you agree with him on this?
No.
Do you feel that there's anything preventing you from being vegan?
I actually used to be vegan for a long time.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, like
you go find that.
reasons, I think
Find that
I
David
switched to vegetarian. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, if you were in your victim's position being exploited for breast milk or eggs, how would you feel about that excuse?
I know, I don't have a good reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no good reason to exploit somebody else, right? And, you know, if you were in the victim's position, currently your victim's position, because you're victimizing these animals, how soon would you want this injustice to end?
There it is.
Immediately or eventually?
This is a 40-year-old vegan endorsed channel. I've got the 40-year-old vegan stamp of approval. And there's the evidence right there. So if y'all were thinking, is this channel worth my time? Is this channel something that I should bother hitting the like button, tapping the like button, let alone smashing it? Well, listen to David. Yeah, turn on the notification bell. You got to hit it. You got to hit it and smash it and fondle it. And do dirty things to them bells. You got to fondle those bells. And do, you know, I don't know what you guys do in your altercation. What? We've got 15 minutes till the AAC stream.
And how many more animals should be exploited because of you?
I just think that individual action is not really helping. Like, I mean, of course I can stop drinking milk, but
it makes a difference. It does make a difference. I mean, you can look into this yourself, like what difference it does make. But even, like, you know, you can look it up and find out the information for yourself. But even if it didn't make a difference, it would still be worth it, right? Like me deciding to not be racist today, that's not ending racism. It still exists. Me deciding to not be sexist, that's not ending sexism.
All right, y'all want to see David's clip? Let's do it. Alicia has spoken. We got to do it.
Accepted in society, which shouldn't be, right? If you want to stop that, help us go live, and we can get you the 50 subscribers. Just go to It's Mel and Steve on their Instagram, and they'll be able to help put you into a chat, and we'll get you the 50
yeah.
subs, and we'll all go live together.
There is a channel. They recommended.
Well, Matt, what do you mean plant lives matter? Are you comparing a cow to a carrot, Matt? I mean, what the hell? Awesome, Frankie Blue. Frankie the Blue, awesome. You are awesome, Mel and Steve. Also, guys, go support a vegan business. It's called Vegan Vision. Awesome sunglasses. Also on Mel and Steve's, on their channel as well as their Instagram, I believe.
Oh, she got it.
Paul, I did not.
I'll promote this channel in a second, but she already got to 55, so she can go live.
I'll just see what you wrote there.
Am I in the right place?
We have a death truck coming up, guys. That makes no sense, Paul. Selective about who lives and who dies. Can you imagine if someone said that about you, Paul? We're just being selective.
Here's that channel. Juliana Eggers, Vegan Petite Gatina. There's that one. It's going to be Gail Eisnitz, Ben. Gail Eisnitz is going to be on Animal Activism Collective's channel. Y'all make sure you sub to Vegan Petite Gatina. And this is where we're going it's where I'm going to go. Gail Eisnitz, who was on this channel not long ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, is about to be live on AAC's channel in 10 minutes. Yeah, her book is pretty harrowing. Okay, let me see. Oh, was I was on the one from 6 days ago. This just happened. Let me see. 51:30.
Oh my God, the smell. How can people think that like, guys, go beside one of these trucks and all you're gonna smell is feces and urine and who knows what the hell. And you think, oh, I love bacon. No, like the animals you eat are literally living in their feces and their filth. Like, think about that. You feed your kid that.
It's like, and it's always like caked onto the truck. The bars, you see shit everywhere. They turn sharply and shit falls off the truck onto the road. The book, the Will Potter book, Little Red Barns, talked about this place. Now I'm going to blank. It's been a few months since I read it. There's this place that's sort of like Eastern North Carolina where they have all the hog farms, and I believe it's in the Pacific Northwest where they all, maybe in California, I can't remember. Anyway, they have a bunch of hog farms there, and they said, driving through there, it's basically like driving where you have to do the windshields and it's shit covering the vehicle. it's shit everywhere.
EL, what is it if it's not murder? EL, why do you hate animals? I mean, why do you think it's so justified to put pigs into sheds their entire life? Why do you think it's okay to put pigs
We're putting that Jeremy Bump out there.
into sheds their entire life to suffer, right?
Should be about now, I think.
Smell is rancid. How's that okay, guys? Look at this guy. Look at him freaking out.
Damn, just like that protester. I'm sorry, guys. I should have blurred it. I should have warned you. Damn.
Losing his mind. Why do that? Why be the reason they have to go into a gas chamber? I'm on the sidewalk, buddy. This is Canada. This is Canada. I'm legally allowed to do this.
Tough guy, eh? Ooh. I know you were terrified, David. Let's see that guy again.
I'm on the do that. Why be the reason they have to go into a gas chamber?
Really sad footage. I mean, good job getting the footage, David. These are, I mean, you're really getting a good look at them. Hey guy, look, we don't want any trouble, okay? Okay, you're a big guy, we're scared, okay, we're sorry. It's the socks, I think, that really terrify me.
Get off the fucking trailer!
I'm on the sidewalk, buddy. This is Canada. This is Canada. I'm legally allowed to do this.
Look at that gate.
This is Canada. I'm legally allowed to do this.
I got nervous just watching that. My heart was pounding. David probably pissed himself a little bit right there.
Guy came out and threatened me.
Wow. How do you get that triggered? How are you that triggered? You know this goes on. We're in Toronto, right? We're this like Toronto or the surrounding area where this has been going on. Like, this is a pretty regular occurrence in Toronto, right? It's where the Save movement started, right? Anita?
Oh. Clearly angry, right? If you're so proud of this industry, then why are you getting out of your truck and yelling at me for fucking filming, right?
Because he's a tough guy. That's why.
Up to me, get my face. I'm legally on a sidewalk. I'm allowed to film. Fucking unbelievable, man. These guys are really brazen, right? Get in my face. See, guys, that's what happens. If that truck was carrying carrots, do you think that guy's gonna give a shit? No, he's not, right? He's not gonna lose his mind. He's not gonna freak out. He's not gonna get out of his vehicle, abandon his pig so he can come and have his little moment with me, right? And this continues to happen over and over because somehow it's allowed for people to yell at vegans or to put a spotlight on what's happening. Aren't you adult enough to know what's happening with your food system? Aren't you adult enough to know what takes place? And we have cameras everywhere, do we not? Literally cameras are everywhere. There's a camera right up here, right? There's a camera right over here. People all have their cameras on their phones in their cars. Like, what's the problem here, right? Why can't we be adult enough to know what happens with our food system, see the animals? All I'm doing is showing the animals, right? And then he's yelling at me, so I'm getting a picture of him because I don't know what he's capable of. Our friend was killed right over here. Our friend, Regan, was literally run over by the same type of mentality. Someone getting angry, getting upset, and he drove and killed her, ran right into her. So am I just supposed to put up with that and shut up and never say anything? No. I'm going to be out here every single day, all the time, and I'm going to expose this.
Yeah, I mean, the irony is that, probably, I know that you're highly motivated, David, but, that kind of thing, it just has a boomerang effect. Like, you're just going to motivate the activists to come out more. If anything, just to get the last word. Like, yeah, you didn't scare me off, bitch. I scare you off. You don't scare me off. So, well done there, truck driver. That was great. Good stuff. All right. I'm going to end the stream here so we can go watch Gail. Jade? Jade, you'll have to back it up. We were watching you. Did 3 of your videos. You did great, by the way. Your 3 newest. All right, guys, let's go watch Gail. Or at least I'm gonna. Let me link to it again. Right here. Coming up in 1 minute. I'm doing good, Jay. Thank you so much. And thank you for the good work you're doing. David, thank you for the good work you're doing. You too, Alicia. We just put a link out that Alicia was responsible for. So great work, Alicia. Thanks all you guys for being here. And go check out Gail. She is a treasure, a real hero. So, yeah, really nice person too. Really awesome person. All right. Good night, y'all. Take care. I'll see you maybe in the other chat.